Hello, everybody. Welcome to a little sneak peek look behind the scenes at, thumbnail creation. If you have noticed, every Sunday we have a different thumbnail image to go with our various church services and also with the sermon video that gets uploaded. Now, most of the time, I just go to a stock site and get a stock image that kind of corresponds with the lesson for that week, and we go ahead and use that, fit that into our various thumbnails. But every now and then, I like to come into an AI image generation program like Midjourney and try to create something original, try to make something, special and unique for the church. As you can see here, back during Pentecost, um, I experimented with some stained glass looking images. See if I think this is the one we ended up using. But it's a lot of typing in prompts and trial and error and seeing what happens. And I thought it might be fun to just kind of pull back the curtain and let you guys join me as I try generating an image for this week. And we'll just see what we come up with. So, like I said, this is Midjourney. What you do is you type in a prompt. Let me see. Like right here, church at Pentecost in the style of a stained glass window. And it'll give you a couple options, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have corresponding numbers with letters here. The V stands for variation. So, like if I kind of liked this version and I say, that's close but not quite, give me variations on number 4, it'll take that and based on that version, give me a couple permutations. Or if I find one I like, I can click on the U4 and that upscales it. You can see I liked a couple of these here. AI image generation can be hit or miss. You look at some of these guys, their faces are a little odd. Let's see if I can find some of the really weird ones. Faces can be weird. Number of fingers can be quite off. It's, like I said, it's real hit and miss. But, the trial and error is part of the fun of it. Oh, yeah, here we go. Look at this. I mean, what's going on here? um, some of these guys have like 7 fingers and, heads are a little odd and stuff. But, like I said, it's a process. So, anyways, this week's sermon is going to be about when. Let me double check real quick. Make sure I'm not totally off. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so this is the story of Jesus feeding the crowd with the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes. Matthew 14, verses 13 through 21. So I think we can come up with a pretty easy. Let me pull up my software over here. I think we can come up with a pretty quick and easy thumbnail image here. So like I said, I thought this would be a good opportunity to just kind of play around and let you see how this works. So let's go ahead and scroll on down, back through all the stained glass windows I came up with. Do 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 do. Do do do. Here's me playing around with a skeleton playing a flaming guitar. Just cause. That's kind of cool. I like that. Here you can see last week. So last week's sermon about how Jesus is a change maker, I got the idea. This is a perfect example of when it doesn't work. I got the idea of multicolor. Well, you can see from the prompt here, handprints, each a different color on a brick wall that's painted white. And what I thought would be good is if you had a person putting their hand up on the wall to make a new print next to all these multicolored ones. But as you can see with these first tests I did, just look at these hands. They're kind of all over the place. Let's see. We got a lot of 6, 7 finger hands with 2 thumbs. It was just going to be one of those, this one here is the closest. We got all the hands seem to have 5 fingers. Now, the the handprints are white with multicolors on them. It was one of those things where it seemed like it was going to take way too long to get something that didn't look completely crazy. So I abandoned it and actually found a stock image that I liked. But you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. This one down here was an interesting idea, but again, look at, I mean, it's like a weird rabbit with a third ear over here. So you win some, you lose some. So anyways, let's go ahead and create a new image. So what I'm thinking for this one is something real simple. A bowl with some loaves and some fishes in it. Now you can try to go photorealistic. That's always a possibility. But sometimes it's more fun to try to give it a little bit of, you know, artistic style. I'll probably do a video later on about some of the other AI generated thumbnail images we've used in the past, but like the stained glass images you saw earlier, it can be fun and also give you a little more wiggle room if you pick an art style to do it in. So what I'm thinking for this one is just like a plain wooden bowl or a plain basket with loaves and fishes in it, and done like an old like Renaissance era oil painting. You know, the other thing to be careful with is a lot of the controversy around AI these days is the way that it pulls different works that it finds online and uses that as reference to generate something new. And a lot of currently living artists, or you know, recently deceased artists whose estate still owns their work under copyright, you know, are not happy about, you know, how they think their copyright is being violated, and plagiarisms of their works are being created. So one of the things I like to do to try to, you know, cover our bases and, you know, keep us safe from any of that controversy is if I'm going to pick an artistic style, I try to keep it very generic. You know, just do this in a watercolor style, do this in a charcoal style or whatever. Or if I'm going to pick an artist style, I try to name somebody who's been dead for a very long time. Do this in the style of a Rembrandt or something. So like I said, for this one we'll just go like Renaissance era oil painting and shouldn't step on any toes that way. So let's go ahead and get started. So when you're doing Midjourney, you start, it runs here in this program called Discord. If you're not familiar with Discord, ask your grandkids. I assure you they're on it. But so we're going to start with the command /imagine. And this lets us type in a prompt. So we're just going to say a plain basket full of loaves of bread and fishes in the style of a, and rather than embarrass myself too bad, I'm gonna look up how to spell Renaissance over here on my other monitor. Renaissance. Renaissance oil painting. Actually, you know what? Let's just go still life. Let's see what that gives us. And then the one other thing I'm going to throw in there is up here, AR 16:9. I'm going to copy that and put that down here. And what that means is aspect ratio. So I forget what the default is. I think it's like 4:6, 4:5. But since we're going to be using these for YouTube thumbnails, 16 by 9 aspect ratio is going to be ideal. So a plain basket full of loaves and fishes, full of loaves of bread and fishes. You know, let's say bread loaves. You got to be careful sometimes with these AI programs. They will get hung up on the weirdest thing. In the style of a still life oil painting, 16 by 9. And click. And so as we can see, it is thinking. Think. And in a minute here, it's going to start generating our possibilities. Now you can see it's 0%, so we just got a little blurry here. 15, starting to get something. It's getting a little more clear. I suppose I could have been real specific. What was it? 2 loaves and 5 fishes? 5 loaves and 2 fishes? I'm looking up the scripture. 5 loaves and 2 fishes. If I really wanted to be a stickler, I suppose I could say 5 loaves and 2 fishes. But anyways, let's look at what we got here. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. It's a heck of a lot more than 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Yeah, and you know, like I said, it can be a little weird in what it comes up with. I don't know what this is. What is this? Does this thing have a beak? Is this like a onion with a turkey face on it? I don't know what's going on here. This looks like a loaf of bread that is also a fish. This is a loaf of fish right here, people. Holy cow. These fish came out over here in this one. This pile of whatever, this one's got some weird eye thing going on here. And yeah, this is a little messy. Let's try that again. Let's try and be a little more specific, see if that helps. / imagine let's try this. Let's mix it up a little. A still life oil painting of a plain basket with, why can't I remember this? Basket filled with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. AR 16:9. All right. Let's see how it does this time. We're being more specific. So hopefully, since it's not quantity, I find tends to be what gives you a lot of trouble. If you tell it to do one thing, like draw a person, like a woman, you know, standing on a city block, it usually does okay. When you tell it to do a crowd of people, you know, a couple of them are good, a couple of them are a little rough. And I think as we can see right here, you know, when it tries to generate a whole basket of fish, we get 2 or 3 good ones and then a couple. Ugh. So let's see what happens here. I'm seeing way more than 2 fish in this one. I think I'm seeing no fish here. All right. Let's look. What have we got here? Okay. So this one looks the most realistic, I think. But there's no fish. Lots of bread, and the bread all looks okay. No fish. I see 0 fish. I see brush shaped like a pipe over here. That's interesting. Let's come up here. We have 1, 2, 3 fish. Maybe a rubber chicken squid thingy here. And this, I'm not even sure what that is. That looks like, you know, cow tongue or something. This is is this bread in a rim of basket. Strange. Down here again, we have the. Let me try open in browser, see what that does. Ah, okay, much bigger, much bigger. Better for viewing. Okay. So yeah, down here, these fish are clearly half bread. Mm, these are odd. Is that an onion or a baseball? I don't know. Yeah, it's having trouble here. This one, I like the fish. The fish look good here. The bread looks like potatoes. Um, Let me double check scripture again. Yes, definitely bread, not fishes and potatoes. If I could combine these fish and this bread, we'd be in business. Da, 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 da. Let's see. This might be a good opportunity to say, all right, so number one up here, let me see some variations on that. I can tweak the prompt if I want. A still life oil painting of a plain basket filled with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Yeah, let's try it again. And I also want to see some more variations on this. You know, I don't know what it'll do, how closely it'll adhere to what it was originally doing, how much it might, maybe this one will add some fish. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to find out together. Nope, looks like it's just more bread. All right, so let's. So here's our bread one. Wow, again, this bread is looking really, really good, but there's no fish. I kind of wonder if I could get away with that. Mm. I want to. I want to be lazy, but no, I'm not gonna. Um, hmm. Let's see. This is interesting. Some of this bread is looking better. Um, it still looks weird and potatoy. The fish are definitely looking better. I'm seeing fewer weird mutant fish. Like these 3 fish right here, these are perfect. If they were sitting on top of rolls instead of whatever this burlap whatever is, we'd probably be winner winner chicken dinner. But I don't know. This Midjourney, you're so close yet so far. Now the other interesting thing, let me do this just for fun because it doesn't cost us anything. I am going to copy this prompt and do it again. And this is one of the cool but also infuriating things sometimes about these AI programs is that over time, the exact same prompt, it will not necessarily generate the same thing. Um, if you do things within short intervals, it's usually very close. But if I were to come back in 3 hours and do this exact same prompt, probably something 100% different. Um, so just for the heck of it, um, it's been what, about 5 minutes. So let's just see what it comes up with, how different it is. It's definitely different. Um, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Again, over here, this is all bread, no fish. Um, this one's not bad. I don't know what these are. Are these clams? Are they rocks? It's like a little skull looking face in the pattern here. This basket looks good though. Um, there's a bowl of stones here, it looks like. Um, Up here, we definitely have bread, we definitely have fish. This is the most accurate one. Um, oh my goodness, look at this. It's like bread shaped like eels. Ugh. Oh my goodness. And then these things. You know, the other thing that I'm noticing here, so I'm saying 1 and 4 are definitely the closest. Um, what are these things sticking out here? What is this thing? Huh. Um, yeah, aside from this mess going on here, I like what's in the basket here. You know, we have good looking bread, we have exactly 2 fish. Um, it's deciding to throw in wine and, other stuff. So I may have to go back and say, you know, like add in the word only or nothing else is on the table just to mess around. Um, let's see what some of the variations it comes up with these are. While it's doing that, let's play around with this, see what we can do. A still life oil painting of a barren wooden table with only a plain basket filled with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, because again, that one, we got some variations here, but we still got our bottle of wine or whatever. This fish has an eye on its tail. Hachimachi. These are kind of sardine looking. Some broken glass in that one. Some odd little fish there. Yeah, I mean, AI gets better and better all the time, but it's still not quite perfect. Um, is this the last one I did? A barren wooden table with only a plain basket filled with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. What the heck? I mean, I specifically said there is one basket. It only has bread. It only has fish. None of these have fish. I got some of these mutant breads here that are supposed to. Ew, ew, ew. Okay, this is a step in the wrong direction. That did not help. Ugh, that's annoying. All right, let's try again. Imagine. So imagine a still life oil painting um, of a plain basket of a single you know what? I'm going to do this and then I'm going to try another variation. I'm going to use some ChatGPT style prompting. I don't know if this will work in Midjourney, but sometimes you can tell it what not to do, and that helps. Still life oil painting of a single basket filled with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Nothing else is on the table. All right, while that's doing that, let's take a look over at our last abomination. All right, so we got no bread, we got fruits though. Uh, so here we have fish and fruit. Here we have bread and fruit. Um, bread, fish, oranges? Question mark? Maybe a pumpkin-ish thingy. This isn't bad though. Some of these fish are looking a little weird. Yee. Are these like extra eyes? Bleh. Might have to go back to some of those earlier ones and just kind of fudge it. Nothing else is on the table. And here's what it gave us a bunch of stuff on the table. Like lots of stuff on the table. So let's go back and look at what we had. What's the best of what we got so far? Because we've been at this for almost a half hour, and I feel like we're getting further away from what we wanted. So let's take a deep breath and regroup. What was giving us good answers? This one was pretty good. I'm going to try two more things while we're looking back here. I'm going to try taking out the style and just seeing. This will probably give us a quote-unquote photorealistic version. Just for the heck of it, let's see what that does. And then I'm going to try bowl and see what happens. Again, who knows? But it costs us nothing, and at the moment we're kind of at an impasse. So all we can really do at this point, man, if we could just somehow, like, if I could take these fish and put them on the table right here, that'd almost be it. Hmm. Well, so this is, again, kind of photorealistic. Um, just bread though. Uh, weird fish bread. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. This, oh, ooh, oh God. I know I've not gotten like super in depth with learning prompts for this particular program. I haven't used it a lot. I know that there's, sometimes people write very long, very detailed prompts. It's forgetting about the fish now. We got four possibilities, and only one of these has anything sort of resembling fish, and they're getting weird. Huh. Hmm. Yeah, it's really starting to lose focus. Yeah. Midjourney needs a palate cleanser of some sort. All right. Let's go back to the original. Let's see if it's just completely lost the thread. And let's also start from scratch. Imagine a single woven basket sitting alone on a wooden table. The basket, let's try. Inside the basket are 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. In the style of a still life oil painting -AR 16:9. All right, let's see what this does. Let's see, this one, bread and odd plants, mutant pine cones of some kind. Bread and partially eaten hairy bread, I think. Fish. This one isn't terrible. Here we go. There's another potato that's half fish. Saying, "Kill me now!" And this, yeah. Yeah, it's kinda off the mark now. Okay, here's our latest one. These are not terrible. Again, there's a lot of extra stuff here that I did not ask for. And also there's no fish. I find that I feel like sometimes it gets really confused with numbers. Which is weird because they're numbers. And these aren't crazy numbers. This isn't like the square root of 1 or anything. Are loaves of bread and fish. Let's just see. You're not getting the numbers right anyways, so screw it. Let's just see what you come up with when I let you pick the number, Midjourney. You put in as many as you want. I do not care. Let's see what happens here. Drop my phone. Da, 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 da. A basket sitting alone on a wooden table. Does it not know what alone is? All right. We're not getting anywhere here. Imagine a Renaissance era still life oil painting of loaves of bread. Here's one. You know what? Here we go. This is why we're getting weird stuff like this. All right? This is where it's dumb. Okay, I just figured it out. Um, Loaves of bread and fish. So it's thinking I'm saying loaves of bread and loaves of fish. Painting of fish and loaves of bread. The order, maybe it won't get so confused about that. A Renaissance era still life oil painting of fish and loaves of bread sitting on a wooden table. Dash dash AR colon 1609. And I feel like I need to make sure there's a dash there or it will get confused. I don't know how. I just feel like the Renaissance era still have oil painting of fish and loaves of bread sitting on a wooden table. All right. Talk to me, Goose. Give me what I'm looking for. You know, this is one that I probably could very easily. In fact, I'm going to go over here and look. I could probably very easily find a stock image of. Go over here on the other monitor. Fish and loaves of bread. So on the stock photo site I usually use, I'm seeing pictures of loaves of bread, a couple pictures of caught fish, but none sitting on a table, and none combined. I'm not seeing any pictures that have both bread and fish. Interesting. Now I'm sure if I go up to the paid stuff, oh yeah, yeah, and the paid images, in fact, they have like straight up. Yeah, I can move this over here and show you guys. So over here, these are the free images here. So as you can see, we got bread, bread. A lot of the fish are in the water. See, I said fish and loaves of bread. Swimmy fish, swimmy fish. Here's fish on a plate, but no bread. There's bread. Bread. Swimmy fish. Here's a caught fish. There's bread on a shelf. Do. Bread, bread. There's some caught fish. There's a caught fish. More right there, but none combined. But of course, you go up here to the paid stuff. And not only do they have fish and bread together, but they specifically have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2. Here they laid it out. That's completely unnatural. This is just for measurement purposes. 5 and 2. Over here, 5 and 2. But of course, these are the premium ones that you got to pay for. So they know what you're looking for, and you're not going to get it for free. Okay. Well, we have bread and fish. Is the problem that a still life oil painting encompasses more than just like a technique like of what how the paint is done, but maybe still life means, as a category traditionally means you put all this other junk around it. When you do a still life of, a basket of fruit, that usually entails like wine and a tablecloth and stuff around it. So maybe I need to get away from saying still life, and just say oil painting. Imagine an oil painting of a basket with fish and low with fish and bread. Well, if I just say bread, it might give me like sliced Wonder Bread. Let's see what happens. An oil painting of a basket with fish and bread inside. I was hoping this would go super quickly, like I'd be able to crank out an image I liked in 15 minutes, and then I'd show you how I put the thumbnails together, and this whole thing would be over in like 30 minutes. And we're at 45 now, and I still do not have a picture I like. It's still being silly. I can't believe I've been talking for that long. Oy. Okay. Coming together. It's still got a lot of stuff. It's getting a little better though. This one is probably the best one. Um, in fact, I only count 2 fish there, so that's good. We have these oranges here. We have this, whatever that is, shattered something. Bread's not great, you know, kind of looks like moldy potatoes. I'm a little flummoxed. I'm a little bit trying to figure out what we do to get this, to get what we want here. Let's see. It comes up with such weird stuff. At least it's not making weird creatures anymore. It's populating the table with stuff that I don't want. But at least we're not getting... I mean... My God. Some of these monsters of the sea. Let's go back up here. Some of these earlier ones. Oh yeah, this one. See, half the breads are also part fishes, and then this one over here, where it doesn't do that, it's got a fish that's 2 tails. Ay caramba. Now, if any folks watching in the chat have any suggestions, any experience with ChatGPT, I am all ears. I think so far this was our best one right here. Yeah, our third try yielded the best results. I mean, as we've seen, it's only gotten farther and farther from this. I think this one is probably the best. Again, these look more like walnuts than bread. You know, let's see. You know, we're pulling a well-known story from the Bible. Let's see if we mention the Bible story, if that helps. Imagine the basket of bread and fish from the Bibles, specify the Bible, 2 T's in Matthew, Matthew 14. A basket of bread and fish. I feel like I'm wording this stupidly. A basket of bread and fish from the Bible's Matthew 14. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it recognizes Bible stories. This be interesting. That's the thing with this image generation stuff, is it's a lot of trial and error. A lot of these things that you see people posting online, these goofy pictures they come up with and everything, it's not like a first try, this is what I came up with, unless they're showing off the weird, grotesque horrors that it comes up with. It takes a lot of refining. So let's see what we got here. Now, as you can see, because I did not specify the aspect ratio, the widescreen aspect ratio, it defaults to square. So, not the end of the world, just worth noting. Okay. So we have lots of fishes, some croissants or cookies here. We have fish and chopped up pieces of fish, maybe? Sardines and some bread. This is an interesting art style here. I wish I knew what this was called. Like, I wish you could click on an image and it would describe it back to you. Because I would like to know what this style is. This would be cool to do something with. Is there a common term for that Bible story? Matthew 14. John the Baptist beheaded. Jesus feeding the crowd. Jesus feeds the 5,000. I don't know that typing Jesus feeds the 5,000. You know what? Just for fun. Because what else we got to do? Imagine the story of Jesus feeding the 5,000. Make me regret it, ChatGPT. I'm sorry, Midjourney. I played around with ChatGPT quite a bit. I actually use it for coming up with YouTube keywords and such. I'll take the transcripts of the sermons, plug them into ChatGPT, and say, give me some good keywords for this. And it's usually pretty good. Oh, I misspelled Jesus. Let's see if that causes a problem. It doesn't like numbers most of the time. Let's see if it doesn't like spelling errors. This will also be interesting because remember I said it tends to have a problem with crowds of people. Okay. Interesting. But people mostly look okay. Wow, look at these faces. These are actually pretty good. That guy's a little melted. That guy's a little weird. But the other thing is that since these aren't supposed to be photos, you can say, like, you know, like that guy's a little off, but you can say, oh, that's a background character in a painting. It's just a couple dollops of paint. It doesn't have to be perfect. These people are a little weird. This one is particularly interesting because Jesus is levitating the bread, and also these poor animals. Holy cow, they have it rough. This guy's face is weird. That guy's weird. What's wrong with him? Imagine Jesus feeding the 5,000. Let's just get one of those in our back pocket that we can use. Oh, this looks like it's going to be weird. Not super confident about how this one's panning out. I like these. The problem is that it's square, so I'm going to have to crop it weirdly if I use it. Okay, what have we got here? This is interesting. Okay, so here we have an illustration. Got some odd looking folks here, but again, wow, that guy's like Cyclops. But again, it's a painting. You know, you can write off some of it. Now this is interesting. It decided to go photorealistic with some of these. Look at that. That's kind of cool. It has absolutely nothing to do with our story, but that's cool. This is kind of Keanu Reeves Jesus. And he's just kind of walking down the street. Look at all that burly chest hair right there. Oh man. But again, you know, it went for the photorealistic, like cinematic movie thing. And looks pretty good. I'm not seeing, you know, I'm sure if we looked real hard, some of these faces might be a little odd. That guy looks a little squinty, but again, that's not like completely distorted. What is happening here? Are Is he parting the sea? But the sea is people and horses? Is he parting people? Jesus, we could not find fishes and loaves. But can you cook these horses? Oh, man. That's weird. Okay. Oh, man. All right, we're having fun. So let's go back. I always want to go back to, you know, the original one that worked, that almost worked. And, you know, see if maybe it's going to start getting it right. Can always plug one of these back in while we're AGINE. Filled with couple fish and a few loaves of bread. Let's see what that does. A still life oil painting of a plain basket filled with a couple fish and a few loaves of bread. And 16:9 aspect ratio. Let's see what that does. Wonder if we tried maybe part of the problem, not necessarily the problem, but maybe we would have more success if we tried some different art styles. Like, what if we said, let's take a still life oil painting and instead, let's say, an abstract watercolor painting. An abstract watercolor painting of a plain basket filled with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. You know, for a second there, I was compelled to change the wording to a couple fish and a few loaves of bread. But again, this thing is going full Golden Corral banquet on us. So I don't think it matters. Let's check and see what weird abominations we have here. So in our first image here, we have so it seems to be doing okayish with the fish. Here we go. Here's a loaf of bread with an eye. That's not good. This is like halibut bread or something. What do we got over here? We got grapes. We got... This looks like one of those cases you slide your reading glasses into, but made out of a croissant. I don't know what these are up here. What is this? A fish sitting on top of fish heads? What in the world? Is this supposed to be a candle? Huh. I'll tell you what, if I came across any of these images, any of these paintings in a museum, I would seriously wonder about the water quality where the artist lived. Ooh. Oh. Hello. Well, what have we got here? We seem to have our same problem. It keeps mixing up fish and bread. Why doesn't it realize these are two distinct things? Why can it, and when it does put both of them in the picture, it only gets one of them right. It's so weird. But the style is certainly interesting. I mean, this would be good if one of these was fish. You know, if this was fish and this was bread, we'd be good. But it's just fish bread. This isn't too bad, except this looks like a basket of fruit. And this has no fish. I don't know what this is. Like somebody broke a chunk of bark off a tree. Imagine an abstract watercolor painting of Jesus feeding the 5,000. That last image makes me wonder if I need to specify people, because there was definitely some weird animals in there, but what the heck? Let's see what we get here. Feeling a little burned out. Feeling a little frustrated. Because I don't know how to further refine this to get what I want. You know what? I'm going to do a little research in this side thing. Jesus feeding the 5,000. What type of fish? What type of fish did the people of Galilee eat when Jesus is a core question? Somebody's arguing whether it's literal or metaphorical. Unfortunately, the Bible or the Gospel do not specify the variety. Certainly it was an edible kind. Jeez, man. People on Quora, the people who answer questions on the internet are not that much smarter than the AI. Seems the divine vision. I mean, somebody just tell me. Here it says, according to healthyfish.com, it was rumored to be tilapia. A fish from the Sea of Galilee. That there were two fishes. No, somebody said I can guarantee it wasn't catfish. Let's see. What type of fish? What types of fish live in the Sea of Galilee? There are 27 species of fish. Oh Lord, they're gonna make me go read through a Wikipedia article. It looks like tilapia. There are tilapia. All right. So, okay, let's see what we got here. Some of these are interesting. Not sure that they really encompass what we want, but this is an interesting art style. It's interesting when you just say an abstract watercolor. It's like, see, this one's interesting. It's like you can see the pencil sketches and then they just kind of loosely did the colors in there. That's kind of cool. This is Jesus just this is Jesus playing with his food like a kid at Thanksgiving dinner when he's bored and just like mixing all the different drinks into one cup. Again, cool style. I guess these are people in the background, but yeah. That could be close to something useful. I don't know. Interesting. Interesting idea. You know what? Just for fun, I'm going to say, tell me more about version 1 and version 4. All right, so what type of bread did they eat in the Bible? See, so at this point, because I'm having so much trouble with like getting it to accurately depict stuff, I'm feeling like more specificity is going to help us here. So, knowing what type of fish, instead of just saying "give me fish," I'll say "give me 2 tilapia." And then if I can find out specifically what type of bread, maybe by being very specific about what types of items these are, we'll get a little more closer to what we want. Characters in the Bible, like the inhabitants of the Middle East and Mediterranean countries, ate bread prepared in many different ways, made from wheat, barley, Spelt or millet? Millet? Millet. Bread could be seasoned with oil or herbs besides simple round flatbread. Huh. Kind of bread did the people in Jesus' time eat? Again, Quora. Uh, it looks like people are just posting screwing around answers to that one. So, all right. So, imagine. Oh, I forgot my slash. Yeah. Oh Lord, what'd I do? What'd I do? Imagine a painting. Don't don't get flustered. Be specific, and we're being specific now. An oil painting of two tilapia. That looks right. Tilapia. Excuse me. Of two tilapia. Laying on a rough wooden table surrounded by loaves of bread. Imagine an oil painting of two tilapia laying on a rough wooden table surrounded by loaves of bread. --AR16:9. All right. Are we finally going to get somewhere? All right. It's kind of suspenseful watching it slowly get a little more in focus, a little more in focus. Oh, is that it? I don't know. Excuse me. Right off the bat, the fish they look like actual fish. The surrounded by bread part, not so much. All right. Okay. So it's not really getting the bread part. This one is the closest, I think. These I don't know what. These look more like grub worms. At least the fish, right? So I think we have learned specifying the name of the fish helps out a lot. So if we can just get the loaves of bread, so let's just focus on the bread right now. I feel like if I was better at Photoshop, I could say, like, draw me some bread and then draw me some fish, and then I could go and put them together myself. But I am not. An oil painting. Of loaves of bread sitting on a rough wooden table. So one thing that they say in a lot of the instructions, or a lot of the tutorials you watch about using something like Midjourney, is they say it's going to prioritize what you put. The order that you put stuff in is the prominence that it's going to get in the image. So, for example, this kind of makes sense. An oil painting of two tilapia, and so the fish are front and center. Full in the picture, on a rough wooden table surrounded by loaves of bread. So maybe the problem here is that the fish and the table both got more prominence than the bread, and so that's why the bread is so lackluster. Oh man. Oh man, look at this. Now this is good. See, give me this with two, replace whatever the heck this is. Whatever these fuzz things are, but like put a couple fish right here and we're good to go. That's pretty good. I like that. Okay. This is good. Don't need that bottle, but whatever. This is exactly 5 loaves of bread. Oh man, if I could just get 2 fish right here, I'd be so happy. And it's unfortunate that, I can go in and I can say, yeah, give me more variations of this. Well, hold on. Hold the phone. An oil painting of loaves of bread. And a pair of tilapia fish sitting on a rough wooden table. Oh, if this works, this will be so cool. Come on, baby. What do you guys think? You think it's going to work? Oh, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing bread with faces. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh my goodness. They're so horrible. Oh my goodness. What is this? What is going on here? Oh, this is a crime against nature. Ah, jeez. I mean, if you were trying to make fun, silly stuff, um, I definitely recommend some of these image generation things. Just play around, mix and match and everything. But oh, this this is not what we want. But this is fun. This is kind of fun. I like this. Like if you took this and then you actually had like slices of it and it was bread inside. Like what was that Netflix show? Is It Cake? Hmm. Okay. All right. So how can we combine these two prompts, which are essentially the same prompt, to get a good combination of this? Like again, if I could just get this with 2 of these fish in the front, that'd be so golden. Oh, that'd be perfect. All right. So imagine an oil painting um, of 2 tilapia and several loaves of bread sitting on a rough wooden table. All right, so because there's no comma here, I think commas also help or are also used to differentiate between tiers of importance in this program. So hopefully the fact that loaves and fish are kind of together and then comma description of the table, hopefully these two are a little more even. And you know what? It looks like our picture. Oh. Oh. Oh, man. This is the closest we've been in a while, but again, now it's starting to throw other junk in here. We got indiscernible fruits. We got, we got all sorts of stuff going on in the background here. Computer, I want fish, and I want bread, and I want nothing else. Come on now. We've been at this for an hour and 20 minutes. Now I really am starting to wonder, could I... You know what? We're going to get a little weird here. I'm going to try something a little unorthodox. I'm going to see what I can do in Photoshop. So I've upscaled this. That's our 5 loaves. Now what about the fish? I think the problem I'm going to run into is that I don't think that style exactly matches the style of any of these fish we got. So it's going to look a little weird. But you know what? There's only one way to find out. I think these two are the best ones. So let's upscale 1 and 2. What is this? What in the world is going on here, guys? Holy cow. I think the computer is not all there, man. Okay. Remaster, I think, just gives you another variation. I don't think that actually, like, upscales it or anything. Oh, this is a new feature I want to try out. Zoom out 1.5. Let's also do zoom out 2. I think if I read this correctly, what this does is it actually shrinks the image inside the frame and then auto generates the border, which actually might be helpful in this case. Ooh, that doesn't look like it doesn't quite look like what I want. Oh, well now. Hey. That ain't bad. That I kind of like. This table, I don't know about that table. I kind of like this one. That's interesting. Similar. I'm gonna go with. Oh wait, this was the other one. Yeah, this adds other weird stuff. I'm gonna go with this one up here. I'm kind of liking this one. So let's upscale that one. What was that, number 2? All right, so let's go to our fish. Open image in new tab that I want? No, it's not what I wanted. I want to say, oh, web. That's what I want. All right, so I'll save that one. That's not the other one I wanted to blow up, was it? No. I wanted it to upscale. Oh, 1 and 2. That one's number 2. I'm sorry, I meant number 3. That's what went wrong there. So it upscaled this one. Let's go ahead and we'll save this too, just in case we want that. I saved this one, right? Yeah, that's that one. That's not the one I want. This is the table I want. We'll save that one. And then we'll save this one. Okay, so now we got 4 images to work with. Let's go over to Photoshop. So here's where I was hoping I would get an image real quick, and then I could just go over and show you how I create the thumbnails. But unfortunately, life is not that simple. So, let me go over here, and I'm going to move these pictures I downloaded over onto our hard drive, our media hard drive for the church. All right. And now I will open them in Photoshop. Where's the open in Photoshop button? Where's that option? Cast to device. No, I don't want to do that. That's dumb. Don't be dumb. It's being dumb. All right. We'll just open in Photoshop here. All righty then. So, so let's start here. I kind of like the way these are facing. You know, the other problem we're going to run into is I don't think the lighting is quite the same. But you know what? So we're going to try some advanced features. Not advanced as in you have to be super, super knowledgeable with Photoshop and stuff, but more advanced AI stuff. So select the subjects of the picture. It did a pretty good job. I'm going to tell it forgot some of the tail. That's pretty good. It did a pretty good job of selecting it. Okay. All right, so we got our fish selected. All right, folks, here goes nothing. So let's shrink it down. Transform, scale. Yeah, it's definitely looking a little off. Not super excited about it, but oh, you know what? Let's try that. Put it over here in the corner. And then I'm going to make it a little more invisible to work with. I am just messing around at this point, folks. I have no idea if this will work. But you know what? This is how you learn. So, actually, you know what? I'm going to be sneaky here. I'm going to highlight this loaf of bread. Okay. And then, actually, you know what? I'll be even sneakier. Do this as a backup. Let's see if this works first. So so I cut out that piece of bread there. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move it up a layer in front of the fish. And so if I now take the fish, make them fully opaque, it is hidden behind. So let's see what that looks like. Where's my zoom? So this is the image we're looking at now. Not awful. Duplicate this so that I can have the original that I didn't screw up. And now I'm going to go screw up this other one. So, adjustments. What do I need to do to this? I feel like the exposure needs to come down a little bit on these fish. See, I'm just affecting the fish and nothing else. Yeah. See, the other thing is that since I did not I feel like I remember somewhere, it might be in Lightroom, but you can actually take the there's some feature. I think it probably only works with photos, but when you add a layer onto a photo, you can say auto detect where the light is coming from and add appropriate shadows. I don't know if that's in Photoshop, and I don't know if you can do that with painted stuff like this, but whatever. The other thing to keep in mind is that this is going to be small, like the styles don't quite match, but this is going to be a YouTube thumbnail, so it'll be hard for anyone to notice. That's probably okay there. I wonder if I can duplicate this. I want to create a shadow, a little bit of a shadow here. because this is behind the bread, and that looks a little too blurry. Um, so if I add a shadow, that might be good. How would I do that? I know how to do it in Lightroom. So let's take... Sorry folks, I am just completely playing around here. So let's take the exposure all the way down. And then we'll go in. Actually, you know what? I kind of know what I'm going to want to do here, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate. Okay. I'm going to hide the back one. And so for this one up front that's visible, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the eraser tool. I'm going to zoom in because we're doing delicate work here. So I'm going to go in, take the eraser tool, and this is going to be the shadow on the front fish. That doesn't look bad, guys. That looks pretty good, I think. Okay, so, and now we're going to take this other one, and this is going to be the shadow on that top fish. But I'm going to go, oh, what'd I do? Okay, so that's going to be there. That one goes away. Oh, I didn't have the right one selected. That was it. Where's the lock? Can I lock this so I can't screw it up anymore? I don't know how to add a lock. Okay, so we're going to go to this one. Sorry. I'm going to move it up and back a little bit. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to erase this one. In these spots here. You can kind of see exactly exactly what we got here, what we're using. All right, so let's see how this works. Boom, boom. Oh, no, we don't want the bottom fish. We want the top fish. There's all our shadows and the bread in front of it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to take this top shadow. Nope, wrong tool. Nope, other one. Back shadow. And then I think I need to get rid of a little bit of shadow up there. Okay. I think that's looking a little better. A little better. I'm going to add a little bit of blur to this. Blur. Gaussian blur. What was it at 1? And put it at 2. And then this other one I will do probably slightly less. Blur, Gaussian blur. That one's already at 2. 4 is too much. 3.5. That seems okay. All right. I'll be honest, that's not great. When you look at this like full screen on a big, I'm looking at it on a 27-inch monitor right now. Not the greatest, most consistent thing. I wonder if I can add. I know there's some stylization filters you can add here. Stylize. Or was it distortion? Okay. Alright, so it opened it up on my other monitor over here, my options. Here, let me see if I'll do it half on. That way you guys can see what I got here. Alright. So you can kind of see over here what it's going to look like with these different things. So what I'm going to try to do is find a filter that's going to make it match the style of the bread a little more. And then just add a smidge of that and see if that helps. I feel like the dry brush, if I reduce it a little bit, nah, it's too much. Nope, 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 nope. Would that help it match a little? I feel like that makes it a little too... The lines, if I make the brush size too small, I feel like the lines are a little too cartoony. But if I make it really small and the sharpness really low, I don't know. That kind of looks like it's just making it blurry. Let's try these different brush types, see what they do. A lot of work like this is just trial and error. Yeesh. Let's see what this does. Can always undo it. It's a step closer. But it's not what we want. So let's try it again. If at first you don't succeed, keep on going. Brush strokes. Wait. Yeah, I definitely don't want that. Okay, distort. No, no. Sketch. These are all monochrome looks, so they're not going to work. stylize. Wow. Texture. Well, those are our options. And I gotta say, not super happy. I feel like the dry brush, was it the dry brush? Was the closest we got? Um, so this is untouched, right? Yep. Right. So redo that. Okay. So filter gallery. Like I said, let's go. Oh, paint daubs, I think was what it was. That's not where it's at. Oh, maybe we're getting a little closer here. Let's see, 6 and 8. So this is 6 and 8. Let's see what that's like. Little too much. Undo. So 6 and 8. Let's go 5 and 4. It makes it brighter, which is not what we want. So the first one was 3 and 1, which I think was the closest. Let's try 4 and 3. And just to get down a rabbit hole, what if? Where's my curves adjustment? There's the levels, curves. Hmm. That makes it brighter. That makes it a little dimmer. I feel like that's not what I want to do. Image adjustment. Let's just try levels. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. Bring that down a little bit. Yeah, bring that brightness down some. Bring up that black a little bit. Just because nothing in this picture is really completely black, so. That's okay. All right. So, now keeping in mind on someone's screen, it's going to be that big. So I think for what we're going for, that'll probably be close enough. Because I've been at this for almost 2 hours. So at some point you got to call it. But I think that'll be a pretty good start. You know, I got 5 loaves and 2 fishes, so at least nobody can complain about that. So I'm gonna call. First of all, let's save this. Yeah, we won't go with that name. I won't know what that means. So let's say thumbnail composite. That's all I got right now. Thumbnail. Did it lock up? Oh, Photoshop crashed on me. I'm gonna be so mad. Okay. Okay. All right. That'll be good for now. So, fit to screen. So, we're going to say. How big is this thing, anyways? Image size. 1456 by 816. I would like it to be larger. Now, I know in Lightroom you can make an image bigger. I think you can in Photoshop too, but I forget how. Hold on. Let me look this up. Up-res image Photoshop. Sorry guys, doing a little search on the other screen. Okay, so open your image in Photoshop. Choose image, image size. So let's save this as one image first. Export as. Think, as Pooh Bear would say. Save it as full quality. That's last week's. We want this week. Traditional image thumbnails. We'll say loaves and fishes.jpg. Okay. So I'm going to close these other ones. And I'm going to go ahead and close this one too. Why not? Yes, I'm going to save those changes. So open our JPEG. So open your image in Photoshop, go to image, image size. Oh yeah. Select resample. Oh, okay, there we go. Sample preserve panel 2.0. Yeah, so. Fit to original size. Can I set it to a specific resolution? Let's see what happens if I actually do 1920 by 1080. Let's see if that distorts it at all. I think that still looks the same. What do you think? I think that still looks all right. Okay. Let's go with that. So, oh yeah. Yeah, we can just save it because it's just a JPEG. Okay. All right, so I'm going to look at it. We got our loaves and fishes image, properties, 1920 by 1080. Perfect. It is HD sized. All right, guys, so here's the part I was hoping to get to like an hour and a half ago, where we were going to go in and create our thumbnails real quick. So, I'm going to open our image. Now, one problem looking at this thing, you know, that I'm realizing now is for our traditional image, because this is like goes all the way across, we're going to have some of it cut off. I like to be able to fit most of the image in right here, but we're not quite going to be able to do that. So I mean, that's pretty much what it's going to look like right there. Oops. I think I'll move it. Do I want to move it up a little bit? Nah, that's pretty good. I think that'll look all right. We'll stick with that. So 9, 3, and this will be this will be tomorrow's traditional service thumbnail. Thumbnail. Can't talk anymore. Yep, that's the folder we want. And done. Nice and quick. Usually there's more resizing to be done, especially when I'm taking a stock photo and doing this. But since I kind of custom created this, it's pretty straightforward. So like right here, yep, there we go. Go ahead and take out the old image, and we'll just change the date. The 34th of September, of course. Best day of the year. Export that one. This is actually going to go in the contemporary service folder. All right. And now the last really creative one is the actual. So the last two we saw, the contemporary and the traditional service, those will go on the live streams. The thumbnails for the live stream videos on YouTube. After the service is done, I'm going to cut the sermon out of one of those and upload that as its own video. And that's what this thumbnail will be for. So I'm going to delete that text because it's got a bunch of weird formatting on it. I'll start from scratch. And our sermon title is going over to our worship worksheet. Our sermon title is The Making of a Miracle. I'm going to copy and paste it just to make sure I don't commit a spelling error. All right, now I like to try to, for the sermon, I like to try to, um, I like each one to stand out a little bit. A lot of churches, all their, like they'll do a sermon series and they'll just recycle the same thumbnail and everything. I want each one to be distinct and, for people to be able to pick it out. I want it to be attractive. I want it to be something that'll make, if it pops up in your suggested feed on YouTube, you like are interested and click on it. So let's see if we can find a font that's going to go with this. So this is the chalk one that I used for last week. I don't like to repeat them. So let's see what we can find. That's not bad. Chalky. Ooh, that's good. That's kind of cool. What if we expanded that? And recentered it. Papyrus. That's not bad looking. Let's keep that in mind. I'm just going to keep sifting through here real quick. Parchment MF is probably going to be the one we go with, but just flip through a couple of these. I'm not going to go all the way through because I have a lot of fonts loaded on here. And when you find one that's kind of what you're looking for, you don't want to lose sight of the ball by looking at too much stuff. But you can kind of see how we go through, look at the different options, try to find something that really kind of fits the feel of the image. I really think that parchment one is going to end up being our winner. We'll scroll all the way down to it. That's not a bad one. But I know we used that one already for, actually, this font got used for another thumbnail that was made with, well, it wasn't Midjourney. It was made by AI, but it wasn't Midjourney. It was DALL-E. DALL-E 2. So, that's not bad. What was that one? I lost it. I saw something I liked and then it went away. There we go. That's not bad. What if we shrink that one down a little bit? I also like that it's taller. The other one was short but wide. The parchment font, which made it a little bit. I kind of want to make these titles as big as possible because YouTube thumbnails are not huge. Come on, get in the center. Where's my center line? YouTube thumbnails are not huge, so I want to make the title as big as we possibly can. There we go. That's in the middle. I think that needs to go up a little bit. Because so another thing that I keep in mind with the formatting here is I always have the logo down here, so we don't want to have anything busy over here. Also don't want to put anything down in this corner because if you look on YouTube videos, this is where they always put the time stamp. If a video is 5 minutes long, then that, black box with the 5 will be right here. So if you put your title down here, it's going to be hidden behind that. Go a little bit higher because it's kind of close to the bread, but we got a little bit of space up here. And since YouTube thumbnails aren't really going to get cut off, we got a little more wiggle room. I think that'll be good. So let's export this. There. I think that looks pretty good. Like I said, when you see this appear on YouTube, should be Monday around lunchtime when it pops up, there'll be a black box down here that says, 1735 or however long the sermon is. So, but I think, the thumbnail will be a little smaller than this, but I think that's a lot of contrast. I think that'll stand out well. So I'm happy with that. Um, and it's been 2 hours. So I'm going to go with that. Um, and the fish don't look terrible. It's not. Yeah, it is what it is. Um, for those of you who were not here for the first half of this thing, go back and look at the results we were getting from Midjourney. And all things considered, not going to complain here. So this is going to go back probably with traditional. I usually keep the sermon thumbnail in the traditional folder. So there we go. So that is it, folks. Like I said, I had been hoping that this little tutorial of how to use Midjourney and such, um, I wanted 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. Um, and I thought it was going to be simple. I thought it was going to give us something. We'd say, that's 95% there, and we'd tweak it a little bit, and we'd have what we needed in 20 minutes. Not so. Absolutely not so. We got abomination after abomination, and oh my goodness. In fact, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save some of these just for like social media for Facebook and stuff. I'm going to save these and post these just to show people some of the ridiculous things that we got today. So some of these are interesting. Oh, we didn't look at this one, did we? That came out kind of interesting. Yeah. You can see, this was where I told it to take this one, version 4, and give me some permutations on that. And so if you look, you can see, his head dress is a little different, his haircut, the beard is different. It's essentially the same thing, just different variations. So you can kind of tweak what you want. But yeah, that gave us some real interesting stuff. I liked these. Obviously, it didn't give us what we wanted, but I liked the style. I thought it was cool. What was that one where it was actually like a sketch? This was wild. Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and save this one too. This is a fun one. This is fun. Um, yeah, this may not make the social media post, but when the prompt was Jesus feeds the 5,000, I don't know what these three are doing. So just to kind of give people an idea of, so sometimes I wonder if Midjourney's a little ADD. Oh, this was the one. Yeah, I liked I liked that style. That was neat. Um, I wish I knew exactly what that was, but so yeah, I'll just go through here, pull up a couple, find a couple I want to save, and share later on for social media. But um, yeah, we got some wild answers from Midjourney today, guys. It really took a lot longer than I expected, but that's what this new technology is all about. This is what learning and experimenting with these things is all about. Um, so yeah, um, I'll go ahead and save this one too. I think that'll be a nice little selection. So yeah, be sure to check out our Facebook page over the next couple days. Maybe sometime early in the week, and I'll share some of these misfires on there. At some point in the future, I will kind of talk a little more about some of the stuff we've been doing with AI, some of these images, also some of the behind the scenes, stuff I do with keywords and everything on YouTube. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little look at kind of how this is done. Sometimes it goes real smoothly, and sometimes you're here for an entire evening. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you had fun. But yeah, so let me just leave you with a little look at the final one. And you can see this. Go and look for the September 9th or September 3rd, 2023 sermon, and you will get to see this baby in action. So, anyways, there we are. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had as much fun watching as I did making it. So, have a great evening, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Like and subscribe.